My name is Clayton Weber, and I am often noted as being a very confident person by people I meet. Sometimes they might call it arrogance or pride, but it doesn't change the fact that they always note this confidence I have. They also usually assume that it's a natural thing, that that's just who I am. I was created this way. But that's not true. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I am here to talk to you about how to gain more confidence and live a better life every single day. The way to do that? By doing things you're afraid of. That's it. It's that simple. And I know this is an option for you because I know everybody has fears. My confidence is an absence of fear. It's not that I'm not afraid of things. It's that I live a life where I try to do things I'm afraid of. I try to act in spite of my fears as often as I possibly can. Basically, I think there's two ways to live life. One is to live boldly and act against fears, or one is to live without action, to live inactive because of fears. If you think of any great speech, there's two components to it. One is a purpose, right? A reason for why we're gathering, a goal at the end. But the other part of that great speech is the ability to tell people to live without fear of the repercussions, of the results, of whatever. Just do, go, be active, in spite of what our feelings might be telling us. There's great benefits to living against your fears. You can find it from things along the lines of just being able to do things you weren't able to do before, but other things as well, like Forbes' top 10 list of, Forbes' list of health benefits that come when you act against your fears include the things of living a more peaceful life, living a content life, being able to engage in relationships at a level that you weren't able to before, and the list goes on and on. Social scientist Professor Yerkes found that whenever people live a life where they do things they're afraid of, it actually has this tension. That tension actually creates an excellence in the action that they're doing. If I'm afraid of doing this thing and I do it anyways, I'm able to achieve an excellence that might not be achievable by somebody who's not afraid of doing it, because there's not that pressure that will able to do that. Now, she also notes that doing it too much and having a healthy boundary, but the truth is there still has to be that action of doing things you're afraid of to be able to achieve that. If you want another obvious call to this living against your fears, you have to go no further than watching a few TED Talks. If you watch the top TED Talks ever, the top 9 out of the top 12 are all about doing things you're afraid of to some degree or another. The second most watched TED Talk ever is literally about how to physically pose yourself so you're more confident, so you can do things you're afraid of. And she tells her compelling story about how she had to fake it, how she had to do things she was afraid of until she became it, until she became the person she always was afraid she couldn't be anymore. Now, these stories are great and these benefits are awesome, and I believe them because I know it personally. I know these to be true for myself. Like I said before, my confidence is not a natural thing, it is a practiced thing. Before the age of 13, one of the biggest portions of my personality that people noted was the fact that I cried a lot. I'm admitting to you today that before the age of 13, I was noted as crying on my baseball team, crying in school, crying all over the place. I would get emotionally overwhelmed and I would cry. I would break down and just sob. Sometimes I didn't even know why. Also, when I became a teenager, I had anxiety attacks. My heart would race, my body would feel like it needed to run at 1,000 miles an hour, but I couldn't move. But I felt inept to be able to do those things. And my heart would pound more so, and just continue and race harder and harder and harder. My body at the same time would be at this slow motion pace as my heart pounds. It was this combination of feelings of can't but must. Can't but must. You must do this thing, but you can't. You must do this thing, but you can't. I believe both to be true at those moments, and I would exist between them, and they would both be create an inability to move, but a need to. I'm not a person that lives without fears. I'm a person that lives with fears every single day. At this moment, you maybe feel like you're watching a person who is very confident standing up there, that is just confident or able to do this as a casualness and not afraid. But the truth is my hand is shaking because I'm nervous and I have butterflies and I have anxiety. I practice doing things I'm afraid of because I know what the health benefits and the benefit it brings to me, the fact that I'm able to do these things. And the truth is, if you don't believe my call, if you don't believe my statement, if you don't believe the benefits that are cited by science or research, you don't have to look any further than the best reason why you should be doing things you're afraid of and why this should be your life is in the Word of God. Paul was writing to Timothy, and one of the most famous passages in the Bible, verses in the Bible is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. This is what I'm going to conclude with. You don't need to listen to me. You don't listen to them. You should listen to the Lord. You aren't supposed to live with the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. Power, movement, the ability to act, the ability to push forward, self-control, challenge yourself, see what you can do, see what you're capable of doing, and love, the riskiest one of all, the one that he knows when he tells you to do this, you are going to be hurt. But he says to do it anyways. Do not be afraid of the pain, but embrace it. So I pray that today you will start living a life where you do things you're afraid of every single day because the Lord commands it. Thank you.